You know, you got some nerve to tell me I'm late whenever you're the one who caused me to be late. Just saying. How's it going? All right, so happy Saturday, everybody. It is Saturday night, May 18th. Hello, James. How you doing? Next weekend is Memorial Day. Can you believe that shit? Next, you sent that 20 minutes ago. I just got it. I swear I just got it. I heard the ding and I looked at the clock and I said, "Who the fuck is sending me a message at 7 o'clock?" Because everybody knows that I go on. Well, maybe not everybody, but um, I assumed it was David actually that sent the message because he has a habit of doing that right before I go live or right after I go live. He has no respect for my casting space, right? Um, and I want to send an apology to anybody who was in Scuba's show last night because you kept hearing that chime. That was a group chat that somebody added him while he was casting, and I tried my damnedest to get them to shut up and stop talking, um, but they kept talking. So I apologize for the constant chimes that you kept hearing during Scuba's cast last night. That was I had no control over that. And hello, Sue Cool. What's up? Just want to say hi. Cooking dinner at the moment. Have a great show. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate that. So all right. So I was not here last week. I was not here. We were not here all weekend last week, actually. We did celebrate um, celebrate my best friend's father's life. That was last week, right? Yeah. That was last week. I feel like a lot's happened. Actually, so the week before that, a childhood friend of David's, his daughter was in a bit of a bind and came and stayed with us for a few days, um, which was not really, no, it was not fun. She's a she's a hot mess. Hello, John. Oh, okay. John Wick 3 worth seeing. Very nice. All right, cool, cool. I will say, I know this can be an unpopular opinion. I did enjoy John Wick. Um, I just want to warn anybody who might be interested in doing a marathon to not do them back to back. I think I watched John Wick 1 and 2 back to back, and it was just a little too much at that point. Like, it was like, okay, he blows a bunch of shit up. He kills people. I get it. Like, I didn't feel the 2 was that much different than 1, you know? um, and so like I said, I think I would have enjoyed it more had I seen it like separated. Just don't. I wouldn't recommend doing a John Wick marathon. I think that it just gets to be a little much. So I am not going into John Wick 3 with a lot of high hopes, which I hope that means that actually it will blow me away. And I know David is like hot to trot to see John Wick 3, big time. So it will be happening. It definitely will be happening. And I know that's not a popular opinion. I know everybody loves John Wick. Everybody loves John Wick. No, I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I just felt watching them back to back was just a little bit much. I don't think I should have done that. Now, what we did watch just today, as a matter of fact, and David had been kind of putting it off. He knew I wanted to see it, and David had been putting it off, and he finally kind of gave in, and he really, really enjoyed it. Hi, Dire Thing, how's it going? Is The Upside. The Upside is based on a true story of a millionaire, possibly billionaire, who is quadriplegic and a widow, and he needs some in-home care. and he ends up hiring ex-convict and kind of from the streets, Kevin Hart, who's very unclassy and unpolished, and has no idea what he's doing. But he ends up friending him, and they end up having a wonderful relationship. So, David, I enjoyed it a lot. I knew I would. I love Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston plays the millionaire slash billionaire guy. Kevin Hart plays the thug from the streets that he hires. And yeah, no, it was fantastic. Nicole Kidman, actually, I didn't even realize she was in it. She's sort of like the executive administrative assistant person to the billionaire. And no, it was really good. It was funny. It was a feel good movie. It definitely made you laugh, and it made you go oh, and it did all that kind of all of the range of emotion. It didn't make me cry. But it gave you all the range of emotions that you would want to get from a movie. And of course, Bryan Cranston is phenomenal actor anyway, and so is Kevin Hart for that matter. So I didn't expect anything less than perfection from it. And it is based on a true story, actually, so which is really cool. So we watched that just this afternoon, and David, when it finished, he was like, "That was really enjoyable." So he really enjoyed it too. Hello, Shelly. What's up? And I have to bring it up. Have to bring it up. This is a very, very sad week for television. Oh, sad week for television. Sad for some of you. Sad for others of us. Maybe not sad for everybody, but The Big Bang Theory did end on Thursday night. John Wick. John Wick is a movie, Dolores, starring Keanu Reeves, and he is the ultimate badass, basically. And how you doing? He is a total badass, like a contract killer type person, and basically, these guys come in one night to rob him, and they kill his dog, and he goes on a rampage to avenge his dog. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's basically that's how the movie starts. And then there's a sequel, and then there's actually John Wick 3 just came out yesterday. So it's definitely a dude film. You did not like The Big Bang Theory, really? Okay, I'm a huge Big Bang Theory fan. I love the show. Seen every episode many, many times, and it did end on Thursday. It made me cry. I actually watched it twice, and it made me cry both times. Um, so, um, you must watch 1 and 2 first. Do you think? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen John Wick 3, so John Wick 3 is dependent on you seeing John Wick 1 and 2 because it didn't really feel. Like I said, I watched 1 and 2 back to back, and I didn't feel that 2 was necessarily dependent on 1. The first John Wick is on Netflix. Okay, I'm surprised that both of them aren't actually, considering that the third one was released yesterday. Well, we don't know how GOT is going to end, Specto, because that is ending tomorrow night. GOT ends tomorrow night. We don't know how it's going to end. For those of you who have not seen it, I actually have been watching this last season. And it is obviously this is the sort of the climax of the series, so of course it's very well done, and it has grabbed a bit of my interest. But yes, both are on Cody. So you need to so you understand the Continental Hotel. Well, okay, I'll give you that. Okay. All right, yeah. There was another movie out David was telling me about that had that same concept. Like there's like the place where bad guys go for like medical attention and shelter and that kind of thing. And I can't remember what the name of that was. Anyway, it's gonna suck. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, I suspect what might happen tomorrow night, but I don't know. I do not have enough invested into those characters to care. Um, I mean, I will gasp at the shocking moments and smile at the good ones and be mad at the bad ones, but I don't have enough invested into the characters to care a lot. So, what's Venezuela? There's a continent. Oh no, Dolores. I don't. Okay, I don't want to. I don't think it's really spoiling it. Continental Hotel is basically like a place for like bad guys to go. They have hotel rooms, and it's supposed to be sacred ground. It's supposed to be you don't start anything in the hotel. You don't try to kill anybody there. You don't try to you don't do anything at the hotel. This is a safe space. No matter what side you're on, no matter who you're working for, no matter who you're after, you go to this hotel as a safe space. You can keep things there. You can stay the night there. You can get medical attention there. Like it's supposed to be home base for people that are bad people. Can you pass a message to David? I'm on season 5 on D. Right, no blood in the hobo. Like the bar, yes, like the bar in Deadpool. A little fancier because the bar in Deadpool is pretty seedy. This place is really high class, like super high class. But yeah, getting spilling blood in the hotel is enough to get you kicked out of the club with a giant target on your back. So, Dolores, you don't know Deadpool? Are you fucking with me? um, I don't think you're fucking with me. Deadpool is a Marvel character. No, DC. No, Marvel. D- I have a hard time remembering. Deadpool kind of, well, Deadpool's Marvel. It's one of the superhero movies. Deadpool is he had cancer and he went to like this somebody got hold of him and said I have this treatment that will cure your cancer, and it did, but it left him horribly burned, and it made him immortal. He actually cannot die. He's had things chopped off and he's been shot and stabbed and cut. I mean, like everything, like he's had his head cut off and his whole body grew back, kind of thing. Like he's immortal. He cannot die. So he decided to, and to say that he's a superhero is kind of funny because he's like a super smart ass superhero. Okay, I wouldn't say he necessarily is on like the good or the bad guys. He's sort of like rides the fence because he can, you know. Merc with a mouth. There you go. Yeah, he's a merc with a mouth. Yes, that is the big thing about Deadpool is he breaks the fourth wall all the time. He's always looking at the camera. I mean, in the movies and in the comic books, he's always looking at the audience and he's talking to them, making smartass comments and pointing out how ridiculous things are. So um, he's an anti-hero. There you go. He's an anti-hero, but not a villain. I like that, Michael Depp. There you go. With Van Wilder with ninja skills. Yeah, he carries two swords and an X on his back. That's sort of his trademark, and he wears a red suit. Very Spider-Man looking, but there's no webbing or anything on it. It's a red and black suit. He's got the white eyes like Spider-Man, but he's not Spider-Man. So, Dolores, if you do not care for any superhero movies at all, I would actually still encourage you to watch Deadpool. It's hilarious. I mean, like, even the intro, okay? In the intro of the movie, instead of, how they usually have, like, well, first of all, it's this slow motion. Well, it's like a stock scene thing, and then the camera just sort of runs around, and they're playing this really cheesy song from like the 80s, right? I think it's like Just Call Me Angel, right? And as the camera's like flowing in and out of this battle scene, right? and instead of actually putting up like the names of the people, they put up like, produced by some overpaid jackass, directed by an arrogant asshole, starring a moody teenager, also starring a hot babe. Like, I mean, it doesn't actually put the names up. It actually like describe it. It's really funny. Yeah, I think Dolores would actually like Deadpool. Um, if you have the means or the motive or the time to at least see the first movie, I think you would enjoy it. It's Ryan Reynolds, who really just embodies Deadpool. He really does. I mean, he plays him to a T. And if you watch the is this is from I think it's from Deadpool 2. The theme song is sung by Celine Dion, and if you watch it's called, I think it's Beauty from Ashes, I think is the name of the song. And yes, Pikachu is the same actor who does Deadpool. Um, the new Pikachu movie does the same is the actor. But if you watch the video of Beauty from Ashes, the song by Celine Dion, and she's brilliant in it, just like she is brilliant and everything, right? Um, so you have Celine Dion, in all her gorgeousness and this beautiful ball gown, standing on a stage with the spotlight on her, and she's singing her heart out. You see Deadpool come out from the side stage in full costume, in heels, dancing around her, totally stripper like, right? Spinning around and getting on the floor and doing the V's and the flips and everything. And then at the end, he's out in the audience and he's pulled the mask off and he's like, the problem is you did it too well. Okay, I need this at like a 5 or a 6, and you were like at like a 12. And she's like, hey, this only goes to 12. It's funny. Oh, you don't like Celine Dion either? We are hitting all of them on Dolores tonight. Tough audience. Okay. So she doesn't like Ryan Reynolds. She doesn't like Celine Dion. She doesn't like superhero movies. We are batting it. I love you. In any case, all right. So we were talking about, okay, Big Bang ended. Um, if you're if you're Big Bang fan and you haven't seen it yet, oh my God, you need to. It's really good. Game of Thrones ends tomorrow night. I will be inundated, actually. No, I won't be inundated. I won't. Well, I might have to watch. I don't know if I'm gonna have to watch it or not. Um, Bringing a friend of ours over who hasn't only seen the first episode of this season, so she's got to watch all the other episodes, and then she's going to watch the season finale with us together tomorrow night. But I was going back and I was kind of trying to remember what all has happened because it does feel like a lot's happened. So Tabitha was staying with us for a couple of days, and that was just she was a hot mess. And then I went to my friend Amy's mother's house, and we celebrated her dad's life. More of a documentary watcher, Ken Burns Nature Docs. Okay, all right. Then you might like the other 2 TV shows that we've been watching. I'll get into that in a minute. It was a wonderful party, actually. I made some amazing tamales, and I'd never made tamales before. Charlene ruined me for tamales. I've had Charlene's tamales, and I went to a restaurant. We thought about watching all of season 8, time to hit the release of the finale. David Attenborough makes you hot. I'm not even sure who David Attenborough is, but I'm assuming a documentary maker. I had Charlene's tamales years ago, and once I went to a Mexican restaurant and asked for tamales, and they sucked. So I am hooked on Charlene's tamales, and yeah, can't have any others. Um, so it was a really nice time. I'm actually gonna make I'm gonna make a little confession. So these people were, I mean, these are Amy's family has always just been very, very real. They've never had a lot of money. They've never had a lot of opportunities, but they have always had each other, and it's a really beautiful thing. Amy has moved on in her life. She's actually a firefighter, EMT, first responder. She's studying, or she did recently get her fire inspector's license. So she's hopefully going to become a fire inspector soon. Um, and her middle daughter, she has three daughters. Her middle daughter is a flight attendant for Delta. So she's jetting all over the world. And are you strange? Well, yeah, yeah, you are strange. And you know what? That's what I love about you. I like strange people. They're interesting. So, but I mean, this is always has always been a very, very blue collar family, and like I said, they haven't had a lot, but they've always had each other, and that's something that's very, very apparent when they're all together, and that was the really beautiful thing about being there. Um, Saturday with her family was just seeing everybody come together and celebrate the life of Richard, which was really cool. Um, and then Sunday was Mother's Day. I do. I like you both because you're both weird. um, and I want to brag a little bit about Mother's Day. Okay, look, I do not have children of my own. Um, my mother has always, well, yeah, maybe not every year, but most years she's always taken the time to mail me a card and sign it from my dogs. And a long time ago from my skunks, actually. She sent me but she sent me the most awesome Mother's Day card on Mother's Day. Well, she actually ordered it and then gave it to me on Mother's Day. So here's the Mother's Day card. It's a pop up. Look at that. It looks so real. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? It looks like a real flower. Look at the detail on that. It's like the best card I've ever gotten. And and then the card is right here. It says, Mom, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy your day. Love you bunches, Mommy, Fizzgig, Miha, and Pepper. So Pepper sent me a card from the grave. Right there. I have to keep, like, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this. Because I'm totally getting, this is one card I'm going to keep. It's so pretty. But, as much as I love this card, it actually does not top the second card I got, which I did not get till Monday, but that's fine. And it only took me 8 years, 8 long years to get a Mother's Day card from one of David's kids. Zachary sent me a Mother's Day card. You just look at that right there. To have a mom as amazing as you, right there. It says, lucky me to have a mom as amazing as you. Look at that. I was floored and flabbergasted that I actually got recognized for Mother's Day from one of the kids. Um, those of you who do not have children but have stepkids know that being a step parent is an extremely thankless job. extremely. So, um, because you're expected to be a mom. I mean, the other people like their mother and of course your husband and his parents and everybody that is connected to these children expects you to mother them, but you are not expected or even allowed sometimes to get any of the rewards. And it's frustrating. And you damn sure are not allowed to discipline them because then you get in trouble when you try. And losing, if you lose your cool, you get in trouble. Because I've lost my cool with more than once. But yeah, being a step parent is a very, very thankless job because you absolutely are expected to love them and nurture them and protect them and buy things for them, and supply them with school supplies and clothes and birthday parties and Christmas presents. And it goes absolutely unnoticed when they do not reciprocate because they don't. So, um, it was a very big breakthrough to me to receive this actually, and I was impressed. And he didn't even ask for anything. He didn't ask for any money. He didn't ask for anything. It was great. Lose your cool with people is well, when you lose your cool with little people that go home and tell their mamas on you, and then the mama screams at your husband and or you for what you said or what you did, and then withholds the children because she's manipulative. Um, yeah, that's the problem. That car, yes, it is signed. It is signed right here. Look, love Zach right there. Love Zach. He said, "Thank you for all you've done for Lexi and I. Figured you'd like at least one of us to kiss up a little." Hi, Unicron. So, but Dolores, and now I'm assuming. Well, he said Jen over here, like Happy Mother's Day, Jen. That's what he signed it over here. So you're still waiting for a Father's Day card. Yeah, I don't ever expect to get one from the other three kids. I really, I'm assuming I only got that one from them because they lived with us for 2.5 years. Um, so, but now you probably already know about the show if you're really into nature stuff, and because it's filmed in Canada, or at least the first two seasons are filmed in Canada. Have you seen the show Alone, Dolores? That's filmed over on Vancouver Island. It is a self-documented uh, survivor, basically. They drop 10 people off in the wilderness with camera equipment, and they have to self-document their journey. And Last Man Standing gets $500,000. I'm only into season 2. I believe there are 5 seasons of it. It's available on Hulu if you have Hulu, um, and it's intense. It is intense. I find it more intense. That the other show we're watching is called Naked and Afraid, but I think Alone is more intense because I mean, these people really are out there alone. There is no camera crew. There is no lifeline. There's no medic on standby. I mean, they have to deal with shelter and they have to deal with food and predators. Like they have to know what's poisonous and what could make them sick. And, they have to be able to survive in the wilderness. And being over on Vancouver Island, which is very much a rainforest type environment, it can be hard to just stay dry, let alone build a fire. And it is, what did I say? Oh, slowly getting drunk. um, so yeah, I would totally check out Alone because it is, and like I said, it's the people that are there are self-documenting. They have a bunch of camera equipment. And so everything you see is what they're filming. It's not what the camera crew's filming. There's no pre-scripted dialogue. There's no drama except for the real life drama that happens when they can't find food or their shelter blows down, or the bears come out, or the cougars come out. And I mean, I don't know if you know this or not. You probably do. You live in Canada, but apparently Vancouver Island is home to the most concentrated population of cougars anywhere on the planet, or is it North America? I think it's maybe North America. It's like a spoiler alert. No, I'm not gonna go read it then. Um, there's like a thousand cougars that live on this island, and 7,000 bears, and like 200 wolves. Like there's a lot of predators on this island. What's wrong with cougars? Not that kind of cougar. I know you might think you want to go there, Saint, but you don't want to go there. It's a whole different Eat You Alive. Totally different Eat You Alive. Um, so, uh, oh, it locked on me. So anyway, but it's terrifying. And I mean, I watch this sometimes, and my heart just pounding because I'm just like, oh my God, or like they're shining the camera out in the night, and you see like a pair of eyes. You're like, oh my God, yeah, it's scary. It's scary. Um, that's why I said a whole different Eat You Alive. Really, it's like a whole different level of Eat You Alive. These cougars. um, but then the other one that we've been watching is Naked and Afraid, which is a little bit more fast paced. They put a man and a woman in some sort of isolated situation. Could be, I mean, it could be where have they? They've been in Panama. They've been to Africa. They've been to the Amazon, the Louisiana swamps. Like they've been to a lot of different places. They drop them in Costa Rica, and you've seen enough on Alone with that wiki. You don't want to watch it because it's very much like a nature show. I mean, because the people that are there are trained survivalists, and so they talk to you about what's safe to eat, and what might be poisonous, or what like it's really cool. Not those kind of cougars and bears, just saying. um but Naked and Afraid, they drop a man and a woman off, basically in the wilderness somewhere, usually on a beach. I mean, they've always been on a beach. I think they've always, no, not the one in Africa. They were nowhere near a beach. But they're dropping them off with no food, no clothes, and no water. Like they're literally just dropped off naked, and they have to survive for 21 days, and put them in the backwoods of Alabama. They need a show that crosses Naked and Afraid with the real world. No, that there's too many conveniences in the real world. Um, but and that gets really intense too. The whole 21 days is encompassed in one show though, so it's a lot more fast paced. It's like a new couple each time, and they're not a couple like they know each other. They're strangers. The whole naked thing is, I think, a little over the top, but it's a pretty interesting. All these reality shows are staged and the outcome's predictable. But Dolores Alone isn't. That's just it. It's not staged. There's no camera crew there. There's no producers. There's no scripts. It's just the self-documentation of being alone in the wilderness. That's what makes Alone really cool to me. And if they need help, like they do have a satellite phone, they can call for help, or to tap out is usually what they use the satellite phone for. But I mean, it takes them a couple hours to get there. So like if they need help, they need to make sure that they know how to survive for at least a few hours. Hi, Yardbird. Call. And that's why I really like Alone. I mean, Alone is just, it's real. Like that's what makes it so intense, is because it is so real. But okay, so that's enough about TV. What else do we have to talk about? So earlier this week, can't a brother get hooked up with a loincloth? Well, I mean, they do make them. Like, they do find things, and sometimes they make clothes. More so the girls than the guys um, will make some sort of clothes or something. But you know, there it's just it's pretty intense. So earlier this week, changing gears here. Gotta get serious for a minute. I'm a serious hat. Earlier this week, there was an event, a ruling that came down out of the Maryland federal court, a Maryland federal court judge, which was not good for the vaping industry. And sadly, the vaping industry didn't even have a voice in this, which I find a little reprehensible. Well, I don't know if reprehensible is the right word. And I want to use the word fair because, I mean, you know, we all know that shit's not fair. But just the fact that, like I said, just the fact that we didn't even have a voice in this was just so wrong, you know? I mean, I'm trying to avoid saying unfair, but it was just wrong that we didn't have a voice in what happened. Several typical, yeah, it was pretty typical actually. Um, Several or well, children's associations. There was the American Pediatrics Association and Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, and some other anti-vaping, anti-smoking groups all got together and formed this coalition and sued the FDA. They sued the FDA because they feel that the FDA was reckless when they extended the deadlines, the PMTA deadlines, out by 4 years. Lawsuit between pediatricians and FDA. We don't qualify as a friend of the court for it. That's what I'm saying. It did involve us, but it didn't involve us. What they did is they sued the FDA for their policy. They said you had a policy in place and you extended the deadlines out by 4 years, and it's causing an epidemic. There's that word again, epidemic. The youth epidemic. Think of the kids. And they lost. FDA lost, actually. FDA lost the lawsuit. The judge ruled in favor of the pediatricians and the anti-vaping, anti-tobacco groups, and said that the FDA needs to accelerate the regulation of e-cigarettes. That now pushing it out to 2022 is not an option. This is the one based on procedural objections. What do you mean by that, Dyer? I don't think that. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to make you panic. I do want you to be aware that it happened, but it is not time to panic yet. As Dimitri put it, I thought Dimitri actually had the funniest take on this. He said, look, the FDA doesn't like being told what to do. And they damn sure don't like being told what to do by a bunch of pediatricians and just some judge who really had very little information. But, yeah. He said, imagine this, though. The FDA doesn't like being told what to do. So the best way for the FDA to get out of doing what they've been ordered to do is to now release a bunch of proof that vaping is good for public health, which I think would be awesome. I don't think that they will, but it would be one way to get out of it. Did you say that to me? I thought I read that on Demi. If it doesn't have at least 7 side effects, it doesn't get approved. The FDA is being reckless, and I mean, you guys know why. You've seen my video, right? Do I need to play the video for you guys? To remind you guys what this is about? All they have to do is appeal based on Chevron saying deem has been clarified. Fuck off. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to appeal. All right, this just came out on Tuesday, I think. Um, Apparently, there were people who did know about it, but we didn't pay a lot of attention to it. Number one, because we didn't have a dog in the fight. Um, was this aimed at the vaping industry? Yeah, absolutely. It was aimed at the vaping industry, but instead of attacking the industry, they were going to attack the FDA. Sort of like going over our heads. And it's frustrating. Play it again? I would love to. I would love to. Hey, there you go.
You've likely been hearing a lot of buzz about vaping and how several agencies, like the FDA, the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, Big Pharma, and even federal and local governments have been coming down on vaping hard. You may have even had your own friends show up on your social media feeds arguing fiercely about the harms and or benefits of vaping. But why all the controversy? According to Economist.com, in 2016, high-income countries like the United States collect an average of $5 worth of taxes on a single pack of cigarettes. In 2016, the World Health Organization estimated that there were 38 million smokers in the United States. If the average smoker smokes a pack a day, that means there were 38 million people willingly reaching into their own pockets every single day and handing over $5 of their hard-earned money in extra taxes. That comes out to a total of $64.8 billion per year. But what does this have to do with vapors? There are an estimated 10 million vapors in the United States today. If those 10 million people were still smoking, still handing over their $5 a day, that comes out to $18 billion per year that the government is no longer collecting. Make no mistake, they want it back. The Master Settlement Agreement ensures that the fewer cigarette sales there are, the less Big Tobacco has to pay to the states, taking even more money from them. There has been a very concentrated and organized campaign designed to recoup that money in any way possible. Vapor is a solution to the biggest killer in America. Cigarettes are currently killing somebody you love. Vaping is currently helping someone you love. The government only cares which one pays better. This message has been brought to you by Higgy Cigs.
There you go. So yeah, I mean that's what this is about. Okay, it is not about the youth. It's not about the kids. It's not about any of that. It's about the money. All right, that little video doesn't even touch on the kind of money that Big Pharma is losing, right? Big Pharma is losing money. They're losing money left and right. They're losing money on their smoking cessation devices. They're losing money on their cancer treatments because guess what? People aren't getting cancer. They're losing money on asthma treatments. They're losing money on COPD treatments. They're losing money. I mean, they're losing money. They're losing money on neuropathy treatments. Okay, because guess what? Vaping fixes all that shit. All right. So, I mean, so it doesn't even talk about that video doesn't actually talk about what big pharma is losing. It really is just focused on the government, and because the government makes a lot of money off cigarettes, people. Okay. Way more than even what was in that video. Okay, what was it, Aries? You and I, or you sent me that link that said just the state of Georgia is getting like $160 million a year from the master settlement agreement. $160 million. That's a lot of money. You know? Now, and those numbers, those figures I was throwing out at you, those are, of course, nationwide. They're broken up by state. Obviously, it's not per state is getting, is losing $18 billion. But $18 billion across the entire, country, that's still a pretty big chunk of change. Okay? And yeah, they want the money back, right? They want people to continue funding their shit. All right. And they're never going to squeeze that kind of money out of vaping. They're just not. Okay. Number one, they didn't start taxing cigarettes, just obscene amount of taxes. They didn't start doing that until like the 80s, 70s even. And by that point, cigarette companies were huge. Cigarette companies were rolling in it. All right. They could afford to hand over the taxes. They could afford to do that shit. The vaping industry is so new and so not well funded, and really, even the biggest vaping companies out there are not raking in that kind of money. They just aren't. Oh, okay. Nearly $200 million. Nearly $200 million for Georgia. So, yeah. And you're right. Many states have already spent that money. And this is what happened. If you guys haven't looked up the YouTube channel called The Truth About Vaping. Oh, I put the YouTube link for the Higgy Six channel in the room because that's where you can find that video. If you want to share it out, feel free to do so. Feel free to pass it around as much as you want. It's not even monetized. I don't have enough subscribers or enough traffic to my to the Higgy Six YouTube channel to qualify for monetizing. Okay, I'm not trying to make any money off of it. It's free to share. Get the message out there. But yeah, Georgia actually gets a lot less actually than a lot of other states. I don't know if it's our overall population or our smoking population or what. But yeah, Georgia's amount is actually one of the smaller amounts of money that Big Tobacco pays out to the states. But if you've never seen the Truth About Vaping channel on YouTube, it's a wonderful channel. They do these really great little infographic videos. They're really short, like that one. They're like 3 minutes long, and it explains what happened with the Master Settlement Agreement. That you had well, actually it explains the Master Settlement Agreement. It didn't explain, actually, I did not know this until I saw the movie A Billion Lives. I was always curious as to why Florida, Mississippi, Texas, and Minnesota were exempt from the MSA. And that is because those are the 4 states that sued Big Tobacco. I believe Mississippi was first. And Mississippi sued Big Tobacco, and they said, we have healthcare costs that are just going through the roof, and we cannot afford it, and it's due to all of these people that smoke. And they won. They won a huge amount of money, like the biggest lawsuit in history, right? And then Texas came along and said, well, we're a lot bigger than Mississippi. We got a lot more people here. We got a lot of cowboys. We got a lot of smokers here. We have healthcare costs. And so they sued Big Tobacco, and they won a lot more money. And then Florida said, well, hey, wait a minute, we have healthcare costs. And Minnesota said, hey, we have healthcare costs. And so Big Tobacco's like, okay, hold up. Before the rest of you sue us, let's make a deal. And they did. They made a deal. And the states were not happy with that. The states were like, oh, well, Florida and Texas and Mississippi and Minnesota got all their money up front. we want all the money up front too. And tobacco was like, I'm not going to do that. We're going to send you payments every year based on our sales, just like we said we would. And so the states, stupidly, took out bonds, took out loans and bonds based on the money they thought would come in, right? So now they have these huge loans with astronomical amount of money because they got the money up front, right? But now they have to pay back the loan. And then something happened. People started to smoke less, and the payments went down. And then vaping came along, and people started to smoke less even faster, and the payments went down even faster. And now all of these states are defaulting on their loans and their bonds. All right. So in Georgia, total tax is $1.37 per pack. Yeah, I did read that. That bill got defeated, Dolores, actually. Georgia actually has the lowest tax on cigarettes, apparently, in the country. We do not, although it doesn't make our cigarettes any less expensive, to be honest with you. I mean, they're still $6-7 a pack. But, and is it only 15 cents a pack? Or no, $2.15 a pack. Is it? Okay, $2.15 a pack. That doesn't sound right. Total taxes are $4.30. Well, that's only state tax, Dire Thing. There is a state tax. There are so many taxes on a pack of cigarettes, Dire Thing. It's not even funny. There's a state tax. There's a sales tax. There's a sin tax. There's an import tax. There's an export tax. Okay, and that when I say import and export, I mean it's made in North Carolina at RJ Reynolds, and it has to be exported out of the state. There's a tax on that, and then imported into Georgia or wherever you live, right? And there's another tax tacked on from that. There's a ton of taxes, all different types of taxes tacked onto cigarettes. Oh, did she say total? Okay, no, that's not total. That's the total of Georgia state tax. There's lots of other taxes on it. But Georgia recently tried to raise the taxes on cigarettes because they are the lowest in the country, and they have not increased them over the years the way the other states have. Hi, Don Long. And they were saying, well, this is the amount of money that comes in. Like it was, I think they said, I don't remember the numbers. They said, well, we collect around $250 million a year on cigarette taxes, but we're paying out like $500 million a year in Medicare costs for smoking and smoking-related conditions. So that's why we need to raise it. And actually got shot down. It didn't go anywhere. Well, the part about it is that they wanted to tack e-cigarettes onto that. They said, well, we should raise the taxes and we should include e-cigarettes. And we had our lobbyists all over that shit. And it was just an idea. It never made it even as far as a bill. It wasn't a bill. It wasn't a resolution. It was just I don't even know what they call it. It was just an idea. And it didn't go anywhere. Oh, $18. Wow. So that's roughly equivalent pricing to what New York pays. That is crazy. I did see, I saw somebody post a picture of a receipt. They bought a pack of cigarettes in Las Vegas, and it was like $17. God, so glad I don't smoke anymore. God. I mean, think about it. I mean, $17 a pack. I smoked half a pack of cigarettes a day. That's like, I don't even know what that is. That's a lot of money. That is just a crazy amount of money. It's just insane. I remember back in my day, get off my lawn. Yeah? Back in my day, when I first started smoking, when I was old enough to buy I was old enough to buy cigarettes legally. I would buy them by the carton, and they were like $17, $18 a carton. And I remember when they started, the prices started creeping up a little bit, a little bit. And I said, well, if a carton ever gets to be over 20 bucks, I'm quitting. I didn't quit. Um, and they did. They got to be over 20. Well, at one point there was like some, because I was smoking Benson Hedges. I was a Benson Hedges gal, and it was. I remember I tried to switch back to Marlboros because Marlboro, there was some big tax that was enacted, and it knocked all these cartons up over $20, and Marlboro fought that tax and put all their shit on sale so that the cartons were actually still just below $20. And I really tried to switch back because I'd been a Marlboro smoker before, and I couldn't do it. I ended up caving and paying that $26 or $27 for a carton. Um, but by the time I did quit smoking back in 2011, I was paying like $65 a carton. So yeah. Aries is right. Yeah, you've got a lot of these stores that are choosing to go T21, whether or not it's a state law, and they're allowed. It's their business. They can do what they want. That's fine. Um, it's a privately owned business, and if they want to enact a T21 law, they can do it. Oh, what did Tetley say? 12, 20 pounds a pack of. Holy shit! That's over 20 bucks. That would be over $20. Holy crap! Yeah. So if Walmart and Walgreens and CVS and Rite Aid and all those places want to go T21, they're allowed. It's fine. Um, it's not going to stop anything. David actually, David came in and he read off a statistic to me today. And this is not an invitation to open up a discussion about gun control. I don't want to talk about gun control. I have my opinions. You have your opinions. It's all good. We can stay. It does not matter. Okay. To me, like what your opinions are is cool. What my opinions are is cool. It's all good. But he told me that gun violence. There's like there was a ranking of countries for gun violence, and America placed like third across the world for gun violence. I meant to grab a water and I forgot. So, and I mean, America's high, super high, right? He said, but if you remove, it was, oh God, what was it? It was Chicago, Detroit, New York City, and I think New Orleans. If you take those cities, the gun violence in those cities out of the equation, we drop to like 168th ranked in the world, right? And all of those cities that have the most gun violence are all like Democratic controlled and have the strictest gun laws. So how's that working for you? They're incorrect. That was funny though. I thought that was great. Oh well, I'll have to tell David that he was wrong. Dire Thing though mentioned that there was another ruling that came out. This came out a couple weeks ago actually. If you chose to exclude officer-involved shootings, ruled clean. Yeah, I don't want to go there either. Fact check them; they're incredibly wrong. Hi, Cassie. I will tell David to do that actually. Dire Thing mentioned there was another ruling. This came out a couple weeks ago. I think I already talked about it once. Again, not something to panic over yet. It is the CPSC, the Consumer Protection Safety Council, which is an organization that is designed to make sure that the products that are being sold in the free trade market are safe uh, for just people, children, people all across the board, right? You don't want anything out there that's faulty. You don't want anything out there that is harmful. And so the CPSC is who enacted the Child Nicotine Poison Prevention Act of 2016, if I'm not mistaken. It was enacted in January of 2017. It was originally put forth by President Obama, and it went into effect in July of 2017. What that basically stated was that all bottles that have a nicotine-containing liquid must have a certified child-resistant cap on it. And at that point, nobody had certifications. They all had child-resistant caps. Well, not all of them, I guess, but most of them had child-resistant caps on them, but they weren't certified, okay? And that was the big rush. That was the big push, is that these companies, these vendors who sold bottles to us need to run out and get certifications, okay? So, yeah, I know, Aries. But that's their stated goal, is to make sure that there are products that are on the market that are safe. Okay, so nothing like regulatory body with zero process or oversight. I know, right? Anyway, so all these vendors were scrambling out to get these certifications. Now, these certifications were expensive. It required human testing, basically, and I got this information from my bottle vendor. They had to send these bottles off to this third-party testing, like, think tank lab or whatever. And they had like a room full of like 100 toddlers. I say toddlers. I think they ranged in age from like 18 months to, I think it was like, I don't know, something weird, like 47 months or something like that, 45 months. It was a weird number. And they gave the kids these bottles, and they said, okay, here's how they showed them. They said, here's how you open them. All right, now open the bottle. And they gave the bottles to the kids, and basically they timed it for 10 minutes. And if, like, out of 100 kids, I think one or two, I think 3 was the max. If 3 or less children were able to open the bottle in less than 10 minutes, you passed. Then they turned around and they had to go into a room with 100 seniors. Now, seniors was a little bit of a stretch, because I'm pretty sure they started the seniors at somewhere around 55, whatever. I'm a little too close to that. I don't think I'm a senior, but whatever. Like 55 to 70, I think, was the age range. And they said, okay, here, open these bottles. And then it was the opposite. You had to have 97 or more of the seniors able to open the bottle. Okay, that was the full certification, that they couldn't be too complicated for somebody who may have arthritis to open, but they needed to be too complicated for a toddler to open. I know, I agree with you, Dolores. Oh, please do not even bring up AMSA. Oh, okay. Oh, gonna get me off on a rant. So, my bottle company was very diligent about it. You were able to bracket your certifications if you had like this, say a 10 mil. What they could have done is, like, my bottle company has 10, 15, 30, 50, 60, 100, and 120 mil bottles. Okay, that's the range of their bottles. Now, they could get the 10 mil bottle certified, and they could get the 120 mil certified, and now all the bottles in between are sort of protected. It's a loose protection, but it's called bracketing. You could bracket the little bottle and the big bottle, and everything in between would be covered. Okay. My bottle company actually chose to create much smaller brackets, and I really commended them for that. They did create a bracket between the 10 and the 30, because the 15 is so similar to the 10. It was kind of stupid to get a certification on both. And then I think they bracketed the 50 to the 120. So the smaller the bracket, the more you're covered, basically. Okay. And I was very impressed with them. I was impressed with the time that they took to explain it to me, and I was impressed with the speed in which they got the testing done, and it was all good. Everything was great. All right. I saw that. Awesome, Dennis. Thank you so much. So, um, so yeah, we were all good at that, right? And then if you were not a manufacturer, you would not have been a part of this, but like everybody was up in arms because you had to now start including with your wholesale orders, you have to include what's called a general certificate of conformity. All right. And basically, the general certificate of conformity just says, hey, this is who I am. This is the product I make. This is the type of bottle I use. This is where I get the bottles. This is where the bottles were tested. And they are covered under this law, this Child Nicotine Poison Prevention Act. Okay. It's a self-made certificate. There's nothing special about it. Nobody has to sign it. It's actually something I send out with every single wholesale order that I make. All right. So, but the thing is that because we had to make these certificates, oh my God, there was an entire Facebook group that was dedicated to helping people create these certificates. And people just went nuts. People were freaking out about it, and it was the people who ran the group were so incredibly patient and so incredibly awesome to people, to everybody, because people asked the same question 10 times a day, and they answered them in kind every time with the utmost patience. I was amazed, actually. And how many started claiming after they got their certified bottles that they were FDA approved? Oh God, yes. Yeah, they did. FDA approved bottles. They were not FDA, but there's only one thing even remotely related to the vaping industry that is FDA approved, and that is IQOS. Hi, Lead Pipe. So, and they're not and they were never FDA approved. They're CPSC approved, and not approved, CPSC certified. That's the correct terminology. These bottles are CPSC certified. All of your Chubby Gorilla bottles are CPSC are CPSC certified. So, a couple months ago, the CPSC decided to add new guidance in to the Child Nicotine Poison Prevention Act. They didn't tell anybody about it. They did it quietly. They slipped it in there, and nobody knew they did it. Okay. The new guidance now states that when an open bottle is inverted and squeezed, less than 2 milliliters needs to come out. Now, am I worried that this bottle would not pass such a test? No. It will pass. The problem is, it hasn't been tested yet. So technically speaking, these bottles are now illegal. All right? That's the problem. All right? A lot of those e-liquid lines were made after the 886. Wait, which ones? Oh, that their entire e-liquid. Oh, God, I know. Well, they were claiming, yeah, because what happened is when people registered their products and the FDA accepted the registration, they took that to mean that they're approved. Not approved. Accepted? Sure. Registered? Sure. Approved? Fuck no. Fuck no. So, yeah, there is nothing that is FDA certified. Okay. Can I claim that I am an FDA registered company? Yes. Can I claim that my products are FDA registered? Yes. Can I claim that they are FDA approved? Fuck no. There is only one thing that is FDA approved, and that is IQOS. All right, that is the only that PMTA did just pass recently. All right, Yes, that did pass. Yes, it was fast tracked. Yes, it was a substantial equivalent, not a full blown new product FDA PMTA. How they managed to pull that one off, I don't know. I don't care. Yes, it took them $3.5 billion to do it. So your larger bottles would be under 2 ml over the allotted time. Yes. Dire thing. Even if you were to take this bottle and invert it and squeeze it, they have it written down somewhere like the SB the squeeze of a child, which I believe somewhere they documented was 5 pounds of pressure per inch, 5 psi, um, which is not much actually. But if you were to take this and squeeze it out for 5 seconds, you will get less than 2 milliliters. Okay, that's the whole point. Yes, it will pass the test. I'm not worried about it passing the test. The problem is it hasn't been tested yet. My bottle vendor is working diligently on it. I do know for a fact that Chubby Gorilla has managed to get through to the CPSC, and they have made sort of a handshake deal that nobody is going to come into a shop and pull the Chubby Gorilla bottles off the shelves. I know that my bottle company is actually working on making the same deal with the CPSC. The fact of the matter is this addendum to this law was not designed for any plastic bottles whatsoever. It is not designed for anything that has a needle tip on it like this, okay? That's not what this is designed to do. This law is designed to get the glass bottles off the shelves. They do not want the glass bottles on the shelves. From a consumer protection standpoint, I get it. You know, glass breaks. When it's open, it dumps out the whole thing, right? I don't know about you, but I know I don't care for. I believe me, Aries, I get it. If it was an open bottle of bleach and you tip it over, a lot of bleach comes out. I get it. Oh, good night, Specto. Thank you for hanging out. So, what the whole, like I said, to me, the whole point of this is directly aimed at glass bottles. Okay, I have had glass bottles before, not my own. I mean, I had them at one point. I actually have a shit ton of glass bottles back there. I don't know what to do with. Anybody want some glass stripper bottles? You can have them for like $1. It's okay, Aries. I get it. I'm ranting here. But when I have used e-liquid from a glass bottle before, okay, so you have to push down on it, and you have to unscrew it, and then you have to take the little dripper, and you have to go dripper to tank or dripper to RDA like this, right? And then you put the bottle back on, you twist it up. So then you're vaping along, and you need a drip again, right? And you're just like, oh, okay, you gotta set your vape down, you gotta untwist the bottle, you gotta pick your vape back up, you gotta undo the top, you gotta go dun, right? So what happens? You end up not putting the lid back on your glass bottle. You just end up setting it on top of the bottle, and you push it off to the side, right? And then you vape a little bit, and then so now your dripper is already ready to go, and you can just go drip, 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 drip. You don't even have to put your vape down, right? Okay, you vape again. And then what happens? You knock it over. You knock it over, and the juice spills everywhere. I've done it. I know you've done it. Everybody's done it, okay? We're long overdue for a good old rant phone call. Knock yourself out, Aries. You guys want some glass bottles? Do you have non-child safety glass bottles? I do not. They are cobalt blue, and I have 30s and 15s with the angled tip dripper on it. I have like a pallet of them. Well, not like a pallet, but I have a lot of them, guys. Oh my god, I have a lot of them. Because you don't need to shoot my BP through the roof tonight. Fair enough. Fair enough. Squonk lives matter. No, I absolutely. You know what? get in touch with me, Wolfie and Lead Pipe. If you guys want some of these bottles, we'll work something out. Because I can't do anything with them. Like I said, they're cobalt blue. They have an angled dripper tip. I have them in 15s and 30s, and they are child resistant. But I mean the dripper part of it kind of negates that child resistant thing anyway, because you just pull that fucker out and it'll dump right out. Which is probably another reason. Oh, okay. Well, then Lead Pipe, you get with me. We'll work something out. Jen and I have spoken on the phone many times with the full-blown rant sessions. Yes, we have. We tend to have like 4-hour conversations when we get on the phone together. Like, yeah. And of course, well, I mean, Granny's is sitting right there. So, like, she chimes in and, you know, and she's awesome. She says some of the most awesome things sometimes. It's fantastic. But yeah, we tend to stay on the phone for several hours, and we will talk about everything from shoelaces to the president. Yeah. I mean, seriously, it's pretty bad. She really does. It's pretty awesome. So, anyway, so basically the point is that you can expect, if you are a glass bottle fan of your e-liquid, you can expect that to go bye-bye very soon. I know what an aglet is. An aglet is that little covered plastic piece on the end of your shoelace. But yeah, your glass bottles will be going away very soon. I would say definitely by year's end, there will be no more glass bottles on the shelves at all. I know Naked does primarily glass, and they are scrambling right now, like scrambling hard to get all of their shit converted over to plastic and get rid of the glass bottles. Whether or not they will have, I don't know if it was 20 minutes. It was a while. But yeah, so if you guys are Naked fans, I know there's a lot of people who like to vape Naked. Expect those bottles to be changing very soon. Fortunately, they're in a position to do that. So, yes, T-Max. Well, T-Max. Do you still get T-Max? Because T-Max, the No Frills Mills line, always came without a dripper. So did they had child resistant caps on them, right? They were just regular flat caps though. They were not drippers. Is that the way that works? You vape naked but not in public? I feel sorry for your wife, man. She got to see you laying around naked, vaping and shit. Come on. Unless she does it too, then it's okay. You don't mind vaping naked? Man, see, this is always guys too. This is always guys. This screws with their registration. Screws with whose registration? No. It would not screw with their registration. You can change your bottles as long as they're the same size. I cannot, for example, go start selling 50 and 100 ml bottles because I only registered 60s and 120s. I can change these bottles to the Gorilla bottles. I can change to any bottle I want as long as it's not a different size. So, but yeah, as far as I know, Naked doesn't do anything in plastic yet. They will be very, 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 very soon. Like I said, all of the glass is going away probably within months. I would imagine. You'll probably be seeing your local vape stores putting that stuff on sale or clearance, or maybe the manufacturers will do a buyback. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have to do it. I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, I'm allowed to change. I'm allowed to change my bottle as long as it's the same size. I'm allowed to change my label. I'm allowed to change the name. I could rename something different as long as it's the same recipe. I have to update my registration to show that, you know, this same recipe can be found under these two different names. But I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to, I mean, I have, you know, here's a Gorilla bottle label design right here. Same product name, just different design. I have soft LDPE Gorilla bottles. What? I've never seen a soft LDPE. They're PET. They're not LD. I want proof. Because I haven't seen that come from Gorilla. If they can change the packaging, then they should be able to switch glass bottles to shot-proof plus. Yeah. Oh yeah, they can. No, they can, Dyer. I mean, it's not an FDA problem. It is a cost problem. I mean, they had to basically halt production at that point and get new bottles in and start, you know, probably a new label design or at least a different size label. You have to get them printed. You have to start production with plastic. I mean, like you know, it's time consuming and very costly to do that. U.S. plastic. Then Team-X is already good. Yeah, because they print their own labels, so it would just be a matter of getting new bottles. But they absolutely cannot get in the. They're going to have to get in the needle tip ones. They're going to have to get in ones that have this, because that's what the whole new flow restriction is about. It is, you know, and like I said, from a consumer protection standpoint, I get it. Obviously, if a kid gets hold of an open bottle and goes like this, you know, they're going to get a lot less in their mouth by squeezing a bottle like this than they would a glass bottle that's wide ass open and they just drink the whole thing. Like, I get it. The TPD already has something like that. The TPD has a thing where when you do this so I don't lose any. When you flip it over like this, like you have to count the drops that come down in a minute. And I think it's like 12 drops in a minute or something like that. Actually, I don't think that would work. I think this is a little too thin. Thicker e-liquids do work on my bottles, but I'm not TPD certified, so. Their bottles are sold as sealed, but that should be different rules like bleach. No. It is when the bottle is open. It specifically says that when the bottle is open and inverted and squeezed. Obviously, you can't squeeze glass, but if you invert it, a shit ton of liquid's going to come out. Oh, they covered their bases. They sure enough did. So yeah, we've had a few bad days in the vaping industry. It's not time to panic. There will be guidance coming out. The judge was actually kind of a dick, and flat out said, "You've had plenty of, you know, the manufacturers that know about this or that would have to comply with this have had plenty of time to comply, and any hardships that they incur from this point on are on them." I almost said that word for word, actually. Any hardships is their own fault. He was a massive dick about it. Oh, okay, I gotta see this. On closeout, meaning they're not gonna have any more. As a result of continued trade disputes, imported products have been raised from 10 to 25%. Oh, son of a bitch. LDPE Chubby Gorilla with CRC Clear Cut. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's got the logo on the side. Interesting. Huh. Huh. I stand corrected. It does say closeout item though. It doesn't look like they're going to keep them for long. It does say LDPE. You are correct. It does. I stand corrected. I would be interested to see someone challenge this. As for most poisonous stuff, you pretty much have a separation between a dispensing container and a bulk container. How do you mean? Like, I mean, like, what do you mean by that? Like, if you bought a gallon of bleach, it's got a child-resistant cap on it, of course. Probably has a seal on it that you have to open. But once the seal is gone, it's just the cap. Are you saying that would go into something else before you... I mean, yeah, because you'd probably put it in a bucket or something to wash your floors, but I'm not sure where you're going with that. Well, yeah, they would be soft if they're LDPE. I mean, this is LDPE. Squishy, squishy, squishy. So anyway, yeah, we've had a few bad days. We've had the CPSC thing. We've had the ruling on the PMTA's deadline. It's not been a fun month for vaping. But we are waiting. And Aries was right. Demi was right. FDA does not like being told what to do. They're gonna appeal it and they're gonna fight it. Mainly because they're big old babies, and like I said, they don't like being told what to do. So they're probably going to tell the judge to fuck off. Yes, most PET, well, not all PET stuff, but most PET stuff is clear. It's a harder plastic. It doesn't have to be clear. I mean, I've seen PET stuff that's not clear. Bleach does not have a dose limiting requirement because the foil seal is single use. But you wouldn't use a whole gallon of bleach at once. You'd keep it around and use it in, like, you know, cups at a time. I guess I'm not sure where you're going with that, though. I mean, I'm not sure where you're going with that. It is, and that's why we never had the PET bottles, actually, because I don't like them. They're hard to squeeze. Well, they've gotten better. There's like a newer material out, like it's called like a soft PET, and most of my, well, like TFA switched over to the soft PET bottles. They had the LDPE bottles, which was awesome, and then they switched to PET bottles, and they were very hard to squeeze, and then they switched to soft PET bottles, which are much easier to squeeze. So, I mean, PET has come a long way, but back in the day, like, PET was hard to squeeze. It would crack. It would crinkle. I just thought it was terrible. I hated them. So I never had them. I didn't want them. And they look pretty on the shelves. Shh, or we will all be dripping bleach. I didn't say the rule was smart. My flavor art bottles actually come... I get those, well, I've got them, they're repackaged because I get them from a third-party vendor. So they used to come in, you know, like the liter bottles that we have, those HDPE bottles. Those, I actually have a couple of flavor art flavors in those. But lately I've been getting them in the PET bottles, but they're pretty big, so the bigger they are, the easier they are to squeeze. I miss the days when you were on YouTube all the time. Yeah, mine are always repacked by the vendor. I don't know that I've ever gotten a flavor art bottle that was not repacked. I don't think I've ever gotten flavor art directly from Flavor Art. Because when you go onto their website, you can only get it in like little teeny tiny 10 ml bottles. I mean, it's not going to do me any good. Do you? Do you get it directly from Flavor Art? get mine? Oh, U.S. Plastics. Those look like the old unicorn bottles. Oh, that's expensive. Oh, that's expensive. Look at those little unicorn bottles down below, too. From a Canadian vendor. That's okay. Dennis just said he missed the days when you were on YouTube all the time. He's around. He joined me on my, not last week, I wasn't here, but the week before last, he joined me. We had a nice little ranch session then, too. It was pretty cool. All right. But the point of all of this is to let you know to not stop fighting. Okay? You need to, and I'm actually starting to think you need to start when I say, it's always, call your legislators, call your legislators, call your legislators. Go see your legislators, write to them. They like handwritten letters, people. Just FYI, handwritten letters get a lot of attention. In-person visits get a lot of attention. Emails and phone calls. I would say the order of priority is face-to-face, phone call. No, face-to-face, handwritten letter, phone call, email. Like, emails are the bottom of the barrel priority. They get probably hundreds of them a day. They scan them. They probably go into the cyber abyss somewhere where they never heard from again. Okay, but going down there and talking to them, that gets some attention, right? Logo tattoos. What? A bunch of TikTokers went to meet up in Texas. Some guy was doing $10 logo tattoos. Just saw one. OMG, vomit. Oh, the TikTok logo. Oh, no. I have wanted, like, I've considered, and David has too, getting a Higgy Sigs tattoo. And as much as I absolutely adore my company and am 100% dedicated to it and want it to last forever, and regardless of whether or not it lasts forever, it will always be this huge chunk of my life. I just don't see where I would get a Higgy Sigs tattoo. I don't know. I can't do it. Bottled water caps. Ew. Not cool, man. Not cool. Let's go for a record on how many unsanitary things we can do in a single tattoo. All right. So my point is, though, is I'm thinking the new strategy should be to consider having meetings or a tramp stamp. You think I should get Higgy Sigs tattooed right here on my butt? Really? Right here? That's where it needs to go? Higgy Sigs? When I'm old and shriveled up, it'll say Hig Sig. Peach thinks I should get Higgy Sigs tattooed on my ass. Okay. I love you. But what I'm trying to get at, though, is that I feel like maybe our efforts should be more focused on the state level, right? There's like a whole level of government that honestly, as vapors, I feel that we've ignored, and I feel that has really bitten us in the ass. Okay. Yeah. But that, okay, because you have your federal level government, right? And that's your House of Representatives, the Senate, right? And these are the people who make the laws, right? They design the laws and then they pass the laws, right? It's the legislative branch of government, right? But there is a whole level of government that happens in Georgia, or per state as well. You have a House of Representatives in Georgia, and you have a Senate in Georgia that only deals with Georgia, right? They don't really cross paths with the federal Senate and House of Representatives, right? And I really feel like that has bitten us in the ass for not making our voices heard with our state governments. Okay, as a case in point, Texas. David can already see it. He looks at Jen every day. Yeah. He looks at my butt every day too, I promise. So she was referring to doggy style, though. I know that's exactly where she was going, right? So my point, though, is that Texas recently, I don't think it's passed yet, but it's really close to passing. Texas is on T21, and so many states now. I might even be missing some. I've got a little sticky note on my monitor here that say which states are T21 and which states are T19, so that I can monitor that whenever new customers come in, and I can be like, okay, if this person lives in this state, they have to be 21 years old. For the most part, I very rarely get any customers that sign up on my website that are under 21. It happens occasionally that I get, probably every 20 or 25th person to sign up on my website is in that 18 to 21 range. So I don't have to check it too often. But all it takes is a couple of soccer moms to call the state rep, and here comes the flavor bans. Well, that's what I'm saying. I really think that we have, as an industry, we've fought so hard at the federal level that we've really kind of ignored the state level. Now, GSFA hasn't really done that. I mean, GSFA, and I know all the other state associations have been very, very active at the state level. That didn't help Texas, though. I mean, and you don't hear. I'm not bad mouthing anybody, but for instance, SFATA. SFATA is a trade organization, right? But they have state SFATAs, right? There's like a federal SFATA, and then there's like a state SFATA. And you don't really hear about SFATA doing a whole lot except for Texas. The SFATA Texas chapter actually does quite a bit, and they could not stop T21. So I don't know. Like I feel like, and these flavor bans are coming down state by state. The flavor bans, T21, the vaping in public bans, all of these are all happening at the state level, just knocking us down one by one, and just chipping away at the block until they're all gonna fall. Hello, Olivia. How you doing? Like I said, I mean, I don't want to be like quoted saying anything, but we were members of SFATA for a year, and I did not renew my membership. I felt like that was money absolutely poorly spent. They didn't do anything. They barely even put out any newsletters. Yeah, I just don't feel like SFATA really gets in there and gets their hands dirty. I feel that VTA does. I love the way that I'm doing well, thank you. I really feel that VTA has the right idea by pulling in state associations under their umbrella, and trying to unify the advocacy groups, because I mean that's what we need. And we have so much infighting between these advocacy groups. It's so stupid. And somebody said the magic trigger word earlier. Fucking AIMSA, man. I will call those motherfuckers out. They don't do jack shit except for ruin everything. They will go behind our backs, and they will undo years of work that other advocacy groups have done to further their own end. AIMSA is a giant pile of shit, and they are crooks. Okay? AIMSA, if you don't know what AIMSA is the American E-Liquid Manufacturing something association, Standards Association, that's it. American E-Liquid Manufacturing Standards Association. And those motherfuckers are crooks. Okay? They claim to have, like, that if you're an AIMSA member, that you're golden, right? They have all these super high standards of your lab and all this other stuff that you have to do just to become a member. And you $1,700 a month. A month. Like, seriously. $1,700 a month. It's more than my rent. Oh, don't put that in there. No. Don't advertise for this, people. Take that out of there, Dolores. I don't want anybody going there. They're assholes. They're crooks. And they have more than once gone behind other advocacy's backs and talked to legislators and undone years of work. I mean, they are crooks. And they don't do jack shit for advocacy. Oh, they're crooks. Dolores! Don't join AIMSA. Assholes. Ugh. Dolores, CASA has, because and you know what, I agree with you, actually. I don't hear a lot coming from CASA. CASA, though, has the ability to reach a lot of people, and put out the calls to action. I think one of the reasons why I don't hear from CASA is because we already have people in place to stop. I know, right? Thank you for being my link ninja, but I don't want to advertise them people. That we, here in Georgia, we have a lobbyist that we pay them a lot of money. Okay, we pay them a lot of money. And the GSFA pays the Georgia, our lobbyists, a lot of money to stay on top of the bills, and we're there to combat them. So CASA never really has to reach out to people in Georgia because GSFA is already on top of it. But CASA does have the ability to reach people in states that may not have state organizations. So, I mean, I do commend them for that they do have that capability. But you're right. I don't hear a lot coming from CASA. I think, though, that they have the tools to mobilize people if they need to. Thank you, Dolores. They are. They're very, like I said, they can, if they find out about legislation, like nasty legislation, vaping legislation that's happening in Montana, they can send messages out to their Montana consumers and, get them to, and let them know this is happening. You need to do something about it. So I do applaud CASA for the network that they've created. As far as what do they do, as far as advocacy goes, to be honest with you, I'm not totally sure. And like I said, I think one of the reasons I don't ever hear from CASA is because we're on top of that shit. I mean, GSFA is on top of it. And I'm very pleased to announce that absolutely no vaping legislation made it anywhere near any sort of vote or discussion in the last session. So we are free and clear in Georgia here, at least until next year. I'm sorry. My lips are dry because I forgot to grab a water. I need a water. I'm eating off my lipstick. I had lipstick on my teeth. Oh, I thought that... I didn't see Tiger say that. I thought you were talking about me. I'm chewing on my lips. I'm sorry. But, oh, did I say... I didn't say Utah. Utah has a state association, if I'm not mistaken. Utah has... has a smoke-free association. I think they do. YouTube blogs, everything. You know what? I don't care if somebody tells AIMSA that I said they were pieces of shit, because they are pieces of shit. I mean, like I said, I don't want to say anything bad about SFATA. SFATA has their place, especially SFATA in Texas. They are, they try to keep on top of stuff, but VTA, I feel that I have had the most impact by being a member of VTA. I love going to DC in the summer. I love sitting down and talking to my legislators and being able to say, hey, look, this is a problem. I need you on my side. And I really feel like I'm making a difference when I do that. Oh, that's it, Dolores, remember. You can remember it by saying, I don't give a snot. That's what the American Sign Language website said, is it you hold your nose and you fling it out like this. This is don't care. You say, I don't care. And the way you can remember that is, I don't give a snot. VTA has one of the better lists of local groups as well. Yeah, VTA, I think they have like 38 states now. Like 38 state associations are under the VTA umbrella. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with VTA, and I really wish that SFATA and VTA would stop fighting with each other, because they do. They're always trying to outdo each other. They're always trying to, be like, oh, we're better than them, and and they don't need to fight. They need to join forces. What has VTA done lately? Well, let's see. Let's see here. I got an email the other day about the ruling, the court ruling. It's a nice long email, but they send out, let me search. VTA. All right, so they send out, like I got this on Sunday, they send out about the tariffs, about they go to Capitol Hill all the time. They were on Capitol Hill. Let's see. In addition to the day of work being handled by our governmental affairs team on Capitol Hill, the board of directors has made it a priority to visit the Hill regularly. This year already, board members have made 5 trips. This year already, board members have made 5 trips to Capitol Hill to meet with dozens of congressional offices, particularly those who are sponsoring the many bills that have been filed. In each of those trips, we've continued to educate and inform members and their staffs of the unique benefits of vapor products, as well as the significant work of our association and, more importantly, our member companies that have been doing to reduce youth appeal and access to vapor products. We have stressed the importance of science-based regulation and not overreacting in a manner that will ultimately harm adult smokers who are relying on vapor products in their attempts to quit smoking. So, I mean, that tells you right there. I got this email last Sunday. So here it is mid-May, and they've already been to Capitol Hill 5 times to lobby for the vaping industry. I think they're fantastic. I mean, I really do. They included some pictures of being out in front of different congressmen's offices. And yeah, no, I think that they're fantastic. This one actually talked about the CPSC stuff. And yeah, these newsletters are just awesome, are fantastic. So VTA, CASA, and SFATA will never accomplish anything except annihilating themselves out of existence. Kathleen signs. Oh, does she? Okay, remember, that means I don't care. I had to do that to David when he talks about Game of Thrones incessantly. I showed that to my hairdresser, and she was like, she put like the system move on it too. She's like, oh, I'm going to use that now. She's like, I don't care. She was awesome. I want to believe that VTA has not lost sight of that. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I feel that VTA just it really does. They put their money where their mouth is. So, all right, it is almost 9 o'clock. Do you guys want to get in the lab? All right, so I got something from the Real Sean here, which is just grape soda. It's pretty simple. I thought I made this one. Did I? Wait, this was Cassie's. It was a cherry lemonade. Did I make that one? No, I didn't make that one. Lab. Okay, lab. All right. So I got grape soda, cherry lemonade. I got this from Bill Byrne, who he suggested that we mix blackberry jam and strawberry jam together. I got from Chibichula, I got a strawberry pomegranate coconut flavor. That's interesting. Someone named, I haven't seen it. Remember hashtag? There was somebody named hashtag. Said pineapple and watermelon. And then I have a Sprite recipe, actually. Did I remember to set up the camera? I didn't, actually. But it won't take me long to set it up. I just got to launch my other browser. I can do that. All right. Yep. Lab camera setup. Strawberry coconut sounds good. Let's pull the recipe book back up. Where was the strawberry coconut? That was from Chibichula. None of them sound interesting. All right. Strawberry, pomegranate, and coconut. +1 for the strawberry coconut. Okay. All right. We'll do strawberry coconut then. Sounds good to me. All right. So let's think about this here. Coconut's a pretty strong flavor. So we want to be like, we want to keep that low, like the percentage wise, right? Do we want more strawberry or more pomegranate? Maybe the cherry lemonade. Oh, we got some votes for cherry lemonade. Well, now we are 2 and 2. So somebody, strawberry. Well, yeah, Dennis, but you already voted. Oh, that's 3 votes for the. Oh wait, nope. That's okay. That's the 3 votes for the strawberry pomegranate coconut. Well, hello, rotten one. Yep, it happens on occasion. Ooh, strawberry coconut sounds like it should have some banana. I think you're right. I think you are absolutely right. All right, so yeah, I think banana would be good. Yeah, let's do that. All right, yeah, I'm good with that. Strawberry orange banana. Oh, instead of the pomegranate? Oh. Coconut always needs some banana. I have a banana split recipe actually, Dennis. I never perfected it. That's why I have a banana split and I have a bananas Foster. Actually, the reason why David and I never released the banana split is because we argued over what a banana split is, and I won that argument. Okay, somebody in the room tell me what a banana split is, and I will tell you if that's what I said it was too. Depends where you live. Okay. David said that a banana split has your two pieces of banana, right, on the side, and you have 3 scoops of ice cream, and the 3 scoops of ice cream have either chocolate syrup or strawberries poured on them, or both strawberries and chocolate. And I said no. You have 3 scoops of ice cream. One has chocolate, one has strawberries, one has pineapple. And of course, then there's whipped cream on top of that and a cherry on top of that. And he totally did not believe me. We debated on that for like weeks. And finally, I think we ended up going to Brewster's or something. And I was like, can you tell me what's on your banana split? And they were like, well, it's chocolate, strawberry, pineapple. He's more accurate. There's 3 scoops of ice cream and each one has something different on it. This one has chocolate syrup. It's vanilla ice cream, chocolate syrup, strawberries, and pineapple. I did. I won that one. I totally won it. He did not believe there was pineapple in a banana split. And I'm like, there is totally pineapple in a banana split. And hi, Primitive Farm. So you think strawberry, orange, coconut, and banana? Ooh. I kind of like that idea, actually. Strawberry, orange, coconut, and banana. I like that. I like that. All right. Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. Caramel, chocolate, and strawberries. Chopped nuts would have been the default where I grew up. Really, Dyer? Interesting. Caramel, chocolate, and strawberry. Every banana split I've ever had has always been chocolate, strawberry, pineapple. And the chocolate on one end, pineapple on the other, strawberry in the middle. Always. All right, so let's see here. I think I'm going to switch those two around. You going with traditional DQ banana split here? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where most of my banana splits came from. I mean, we have Brewster's here now, but growing up, it was just Dairy Queen. Although there was this little place up in Pennsylvania where my parents' families are from. And there's this wonderful little place called Frosty Corner with a K. And they always had, it was just such a fun place to stop. It was just awesome. And I think they had banana splits there too. Chocolate, pineapple, strawberry, ice cream, banana. Yep, with whipped cream and a cherry on top. All right, so here's what we're going to try today. Pretty similar amounts, actually. Well, no, I'm going to take that down and bump that up. Okay, all right, here we go. Frosty Corner used to be a chain? No. They have a Facebook page actually, the one in Wimber, Pennsylvania, and they actually put up a notice just a couple weeks ago that they've decided to either sell it or close their doors for good. And it was very sad to see, but I actually haven't been to Wimber in years and don't have any reason to ever go back, so it's not really going to affect my life to not have Frosty Corner. So I had no idea there used to be a chain though, or maybe it was a franchise or something. I loved Frosty Corner though, and it was, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Guys, you have to understand, like, the town that my parents grew up in is a very, very small town. It is still a very, very small town. And I mean, I think, I mean, I think they have a population of around 10,000 people, but that doesn't include like Wimber, you know, I think that kind of includes some surrounding areas. And there's a lot of farmland, there's a lot of rolling hills, it's up in the mountains, you know, it's like, it's a really beautiful place. And it was on the way out to my dad's parents' house, which is they were still considered Wimber, but it's actually closer to Central City. And I mean, there's nothing out there. I mean, it was just farmland. I don't even know if it's farmland. It was just rolling hills, and you know, occasionally a house would be in the middle of a huge plot of land, and there was just like tons of hills on this side of the road, and there was just nothing for miles and miles and miles. And here, out of just in the middle of nowhere, in the cross section of two streets, was Frosty Corner, which was really awesome. Did you see Walmart has raised its prices due to tariffs? Vanilla soft serve nestled between sweet banana slices covered in strawberry, pineapple, chocolate, and whipped toppings from the DQ. They are the experts. There was a few of them along 30 in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Was it 30? No. That was 30. Oh. Hang on. Oh, was it 30? It might be 30. Hang on. It was, they renamed it Dark Shade Drive. There we go. 160. Route 160. But it was at the corner of, hang on. There's a Hecufo. I'm not sure which direction I should be going here. Let's see. I need a satellite. I need to see like what's going on here. You know what? I should look for Frosty Corner. Frosty Corner, Wimber, Pennsylvania. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it's not even on Google Maps anymore. Okay, wait, here we go. 160. I shouldn't be doing this while I'm on the phone with you guys, or on the cast with you guys. $160 sounds right though. So yeah, okay, 160. Oh wait, here we go. This is where 56. That's where we had our accident. 56, and where's Dark Shade Drive? Oh, 160 turns. Okay, and that's where the Frosty Corner is actually. It actually turns to the left coming out of Wimber. I know everyone is going to jack up, but you know, it's temporary. We're working things out with China. Just try to be patient for a minute. It's temporary. And if it's not temporary, then, you know, it sucks. Okay. So what are we going to call this? Strawberry, orange, coconut, banana cream. Let's call it tropical nut. Tropical coconut. Alright, so here's what we're doing. The ones in Ohio closed before Google Maps was the thing. Oh. Yeah, no, the Frosty Corner just recently, like I could look it up on Facebook.
I saw they had a Facebook page. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to like this, even though I haven't been there in years. All right, so we are going to use Capella's Sweet Strawberry at 3.75%. We are going to use TFA's Orange Mandarin at 4.5%. We're going to use TFA's Coconut at 2.2%, 2.25%. And TFA's Banana Cream, banana, at 4.5%. All right. Oh, what did Dolores put up there? What is this? Fool.c. China just became Dollarama's best friend. Dollarama, is that like your dollar store? Dollarama imports 55% of the goods that go on its shelves from China. The imports enter the country without a tariff penalty, unlike what its competitors, Dollar Tree and Dollar General, face in the U.S. However, it doesn't get off scot-free. Canada has import tariffs on American products in retaliation of the American steel and aluminum tariffs. It also doesn't help that Canada is in the middle of a legal battle with China over the court proceedings to extradite Huawei Technologies CFO Meng Wanzhou to the U.S. So it's not as simple as saying the ratcheting up of the trade war between the U.S. and China is a win for Canadian companies such as Dollarama, but I think it's fair to say that CEO Neil Rossi would prefer to be in his position vis-a-vis China than in the U.S. Yeah, it sucks. All right. I'm going to run in there and make this real quick. It's going to have to be pretty quick because it's already 10 after 9 and I don't want to be on here forever. So, make sure I have my music on because I'm getting towards the end of my playlist here. So, yeah, it's on repeat. Family Dollar stores in the state is double the price you can get anyplace else. Actually, the Family Dollar that's near my house is shutting down, or may have already shut down. But there is a Dollar General that's just across the street here from Hickey 6. We are over there all the time. It's awesome. Oh my gosh. This is not good. This is not accurate. This sale ended like last week. Sorry, guys. You gotta mention these things to me. I don't always notice. E-liquid at hickey6.com. There we go. $1 at the dollar store, 82 cents everywhere else. My cousin used to work at yeah, I've like I said, I have a Dollar General right outside Hickey 6. It's like right across the street. It's awesome. But there's a Family Dollar that's right by my house, and yeah, they're closing. And I only ever went in there like twice too. I was when they first built it, I'm like, yeah, there's a Family Dollar. Excuse me. And yeah, I never went in there. It's kind of hard to get in and out of. Alrighty, guys, let's run into the lab real quick and make some tropical coconut. Actually, no, let's see. Like that. There we go. Alrighty. See you guys in a minute.
turned away from it all like a blind man. Sat on the fence, but it don't work. Keep coming up with love, but it's so slashed and torn. Insanity loves under pressure, we're breaking. Can we give ourselves one more chance? Why can't we give love that one more chance? Why can't we give love, give love, give love, give love, give love, give love, give love? 'Cause love's such an old-fashioned word, and love dares you to care for the people on the edge of the night, and love dares you to change our way of caring about ourselves.
Dyer, that's horrifying. That's absolutely horrifying. All right. All right, guys. Let's make some juice. You'll need some nitrile gloves because those are chemical resistant and you are working with chemicals. You don't really need to worry about the flavors too much. Those are not going to hurt you, but the nicotine will. So be sure to suit up and make sure that you're safe, because that's what I want you guys to be, is safe. Well, that's a good Dyer thing, because that's horrifying. Excuse me. All right, there's my orange. Strawberries down here. Got my banana and my coconut. I don't use my coconut much, so I'm thinking it's probably in the back. There it is. All right. So you're going to need a delivery system, meaning you have to get the flavors out of the bottles they come in and into your e-liquid bottle. So I like to use volume method. Some people like to use weight method. They're both equally effective as long as you always use the same one. It might vary. Your juice might taste different if you switch back and forth. However, okay, let's do this. So Capella's Sweet Strawberry, 1.2 milliliters. We got TFA's Orange Mandarin, 1.4 milliliters. TFA's Coconut Extra. It's a strong flavor, so you want to keep that low. 0.7 milliliter. And lastly, Banana Cream. TFA Banana Cream, 1.4. I'm going to smell it. I like it. All right, and we're kind of in a rush today, so I'm just going to grab my pre-mixed base, and I'm going to fill up my bottle here. My pre-mixed base of 3 milligram, 25 PG, 75 VG. It's actually not 25-75. It's actually more like a 90-10. I dripped some. It's actually like a 90-10 mix. And the reason for that is so that when you add 15% to it, 15% flavoring, it comes out right. So 90-10, it's a 3 milligram 90-10 mix. And then, like I said, once you add 15% flavoring to it, it comes out to a lovely 25-75 blend. All right. So, got a cap. Now these flavors are very clear. The only thing that has any color to it at all is the banana, which is slightly yellow. The rest of them are super, super clear. So you're going to have to make sure you check those ribbons of PG in the bottle and make sure you shake them all out, because you'll get hot spots of flavor if you don't do that. How much of Loran's banana cream? Actually, I would think it'd be about the same. Maybe you'd might want to make it lighter. I mean, I don't have Loran's banana cream, but just knowing Loran's like I do, I would actually think that Loran's might be a little bit more potent than TFA's, but probably on the same playing field. All right, that's all good. I'm going to head back over to my desk and we're going to try it out. Yum. Hello, John Q. What's up?
All day, staring at the ceiling, making friends with shadows on my wall. All night, hearing voices telling me that I should get some sleep, because tomorrow might be good for something. Hold on, feeling like I'm headed for a breakdown, and I don't know why, but I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell, but stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me. I'm not crazy, I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care, but soon enough you're gonna think of me.
You guys are awesome. Oh, how did that happen? That was weird. Didn't show it before. Alrighty. That must have been from last time when I had Aries with me. What is the box under the shelf and why is it moving? There are a couple boxes under there actually. There is a drawer that has it has like extra syringes, press-in adapters. There's also my menthols in there. I've got barcode labels that I put on the flavors we keep track of the inventory. And then there's a couple of boxes that have different colored caps in them. But I guarantee you it wasn't moving. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. How is your son? Little rectangular thing looks like it hangs from the shelf to the left of the 3 papers on the wall. All right, you know what? I'm going to pull it back up. You're going to tell me what you're talking about. I just closed it. But I am curious what you mean. Oh, shit. There we go. All right, so are you talking about this thing? Or are you talking about underneath the counter or underneath the shelf? Oh, that is a flashlight. It's one of those little handheld flashlights. It's hanging. I use that sometimes when I need to see through a bottle that, like the liter bottles, or um, like these bottles up here are all made with high density polyethylene material, and they're solid white. And sometimes I need to see through them to see what the level is, and I can't. So I grab this flashlight and I put it up next to it so I can see through the bottle. If it was moving, it was probably maybe just because I opened or closed the door and it changed the pressure, because it's literally just hanging off of that wire shelf right there. Yeah, it's one of those little handheld lights that, like, you push the button and it's got 3 LED lights on the end, like a flashlight, and then you push the button again, and like the whole side of the face like lights up. So you can have just like an aimed light, or you can have like a big bright light. He's okay going to see chemo oncologist in a few weeks. That's creepily specific. It's just a flashlight. I'm 95% healed. Awesome. Have issues with my legs, but they're stronger. Awesome. Awesome. Love to hear it. And yeah, like I said, if it moved, it's probably just because I closed the door. Maybe the air pressure in the room changed or something. Yeah, it's not haunted, I promise. You know what? I can't even say that it's not haunted. It might be. Actually, it might be. I have had more than once like weird things happen around here. I figure it's just my dad visiting. Can I add a recipe to the kit? Yes, you can. Let me get a new window open. Excuse me, I did remember to grab a water. What's your idea? Strawberry jello and ice cream. Strawberry jello. Okay. I did. Sue. Oh my God. I did. We did. David did it. I'm not even going to take credit for it. I left it all up to David. So, okay, I'll tell you that. So we had, because the first time David heard it, like really heard it, actually. Dude, John Q, we've already done this. I've already got that. All right? I've already got it. Pegasus Jewels. Pegasus Jewels. Menthol and peppermint? Oh, damn. All right, let's get, okay, so we want strawberry jello and ice cream. All right. And that was from Vaping Smurf. So let's call it Smurf. All right, so if the strawberry jello is a flavor, add jello cake. Pomegranate, let's see, Yardbird says pomegranate. Wait, that's Yardbird. Yardbird says pomegranate, menthol, and peppermint. That's going to be spicy. And somebody else says something else. Was that it? Because I'm not doing milk chocolate, 2 vanillas, and hazelnuts. I already did that one years ago. You've had it. All right. All right. So if you guys have any other ideas, let me know. All right. So we had a critter in the attic. Actually, we had a critter in the attic. I didn't think it was rats because I mean, I only heard one at a time, and it took us a couple of months to nail this little fucker down. All right. Um, I mean, it did. So I mean, and if it had been rats, I mean, they multiply like every 3 days. I mean, like it's crazy. They can have babies after babies after babies after babies. They multiply like nobody's. I mean, people say rabbits multiply fast. They're nothing like rats. Okay, seriously. Rats are just crazy. They're, oh my god. So I didn't think it was an infesting type of critter. I knew there was a critter up there. It might have been chupacabra, but it was driving me crazy. And David had gone up there. People said throw mothballs up there. We did. We threw 8 pounds of mothballs up there. Our whole house smelled like grandma's house. Okay, our whole house smelled like mothballs. It was terrible. I was actually wondering if we were poisoning ourselves because of all the mothballs we had in the attic. And he set up traps. He set up bait. I mean, we threw those like poison pellets up there, and this little fucker was not. He was not taking the bait on anything. He was driving us crazy. He tore a hole in my ceiling. It was just a little tiny hole, but still, I mean, he dug a hole through the sheetrock and through my ceiling, and I was freaking the fuck out. And the first time David heard it really scratching, he thought it was something big, like a possum or a raccoon, right? Because it did. It was loud as fuck. I'm telling you guys, this thing was just crazy loud, all right? And so we bought one of like a medium-sized animal trap because we thought that it was like and David was like, he was like getting like delusional too. He swore that he thought it was the kids' cat. All right, he thought that the kids' cat was somehow getting into the attic. And I'm like, David, there's no possible way for the cat to get into the attic. He's like, he goes, you need to check their closet. There's a hole in the ceiling. He's getting into the attic. No, there's no hole. There's no way the cat is getting into the attic. I'm telling you. He's like, oh no, it's the cat. I'm like, no, it's not the fucking cat. Okay. What flavor tastes like the outer part of an angel food cake that's like the crust? Oh. That would be like I don't know. Do you not have Jello cake down there? I've had Jello cake before. It's pretty tasty. So in any case, I don't know. Outer part of it, like the cooked part, the crust part of an angel food cake. Yum. Maybe a little pie crust. Well, no, not pie crust. I mean, maybe a little bit of pie crust to give it like a fried flavor. Maybe. I don't know. I had to think about that one. So we bought this medium-sized trap, and David had baited it. He baited it with like an apple with peanut butter on it and a hot dog, and nothing. Okay, this fucker up there was not taking the bait. He was staying up there, and he was driving me insane. And he wasn't there like at nighttime. Like he never woke me up at night. He only ever it was always like late morning, early afternoon is when you'd hear him the most, and not in the evenings hardly at all. It was crazy. So then what happened was one day David he was leaving for some reason. He was going outside. It was like a Sunday evening, and he called to me and he says, you need to come outside. The sun is setting and it's making everything red. It's twilight and it's really pretty. And he's standing in the yard and he's looking at the house and like over the house at the sunset, or kind of to the side of the house. And he saw the corner of his eye, all of a sudden a squirrel appear on my roof. And he realized that one of the shingles on the roof was bowed up, and that the gutter was like separating from the house. It was kind of hanging there. And he's like, son of a bitch, I figured out how he's getting in. So he crawled out onto the roof, and he like nailed the gutter back in place, and he put the shingles back in place, and it looked like we may have closed it off, but it didn't work. The little fucker was still getting back in. But now we knew it was a squirrel, right? So we bought a smaller trap, and my cousin actually said that that squirrels cannot resist walnuts. He says that's like their weakness. They love walnuts. So he bought a big bag of walnuts. He made a glob of walnuts with peanut butter in it and stuck it in the trap. And it's one of those traps where it catches it live, right? It doesn't kill it. are your eaves sealed off? Well, like I said, there's this one shingle that apparently, I don't know. Like, I mean, I can't afford to have somebody come out and seal the house. But anyway, so um, we caught we caught the little fucker. He did fall for the walnuts. He got into the trap and he got stuck there. Um, and now I will say, rest in peace, Mr. Squirrel. But there was no choice. David killed it. He killed the squirrel. Um, because he had to. I mean, what are you going to do? Let him go? He's just going to come back in, right? And then we had, so I was, celebration. Oh yes, we finally caught the squirrel. Finally caught the squirrel. And lo and behold, we didn't hear some scratching again, like 2 days later. I was so pissed. And so David's like, all right. Well, he said he brought the trap down, but he goes, I think I broke it when he was killing the squirrel. And he said, so we're gonna have to get another trap. And I was like, well, let me take a look at it. So I took a look at it, and I was able to fix it with like a paper clip, and it was working just fine. So we put the trap back up in the attic, and we heard the scratching for a couple days, and then scratching stopped. And so David went up into the attic and found out that the second squirrel had tripped one of the rat traps that he had set out, and that was it. R.I.P. Mr. Squirrel number 2. So we have not heard a single noise since. Thank God. We have had a contractor come out. We've had a contractor come out and look at the shingle that was lifted and to fix the gutter and possibly because I have some trees that's right next to the house. There's these big cypress trees that give my backyard some privacy, and so I don't want to cut them down, but they are right next to the house, which is, he said, how it's happening. He's like, I'm surprised you've only had 2, because the squirrels get up in those trees and they just jump onto the roof of the house. So we're probably going to trim those trees back, at least on this side, on the front side that's the gives me the privacy. We'll leave it alone, but we're going to trim up the back of the trees to get them away from the house a little bit, and fix that shingle and the gutter so that it's now it's sealed and it's not able to get into. So did you see what I put? Wait, what I was missing? Let's see. What is this? Angel food flavoring concentrate. Ooh. Is that Capella's? It says C. Oh, that's by Get Suckered. Okay. Get Suckered is actually now Flavor West? No, one-on-one. One-on-one. And you know what? You may not be able to find that anymore. Well, I mean, obviously you can find it on Amazon, but one-on-one bought Get Suckered. And I actually use one-on-one's yellow cake. I never tried Get Suckered's yellow cake before. So, and they'll probably be doing away with it because one-on-one already has a yellow cake. So, but as of right now, they have the whole inventory of both companies available on the one-on-one website. Just FYI. The marshmallow would give the sweetness of the caramelized sugars. Cake batter would be the slight cake flavor, and the pie crust would be the slight burn taste. See, I was thinking the pie crust might work for that sort of fried flavor, but not a lot. You do not, trust me, you do not need a lot of pie crust. Pie crust is very strong. It will do a hostile takeover over all your flavors if you put, we're talking very little, 1% max. Do not use a lot of pie crust. Better for the house to trim them back anyway. Yeah, I know. I mean, they've sort of grown around the house. They're not poking into the house. I mean, what they're mainly touching is I have a screened in porch on my house that I had built years ago. And like, I mean, if they were really like digging into anything, they'd be like digging into the screens, but they're not. They've actually kind of grown around, like they've sort of wedged themselves and grown out around it. Um, but I probably need probably need that anyway because David pointed out he said he's been resisting showing this to me for months. Actually, he saw it a long time ago, but he didn't want to show me that it was there. Up in one of those cypress trees is a giant hornet's nest. So I don't know what I'm going to do because certainly not going to get any regular old tree climber to get up there and cut down this fucking hornet's nest. I don't know who I need to call to get rid of that shit. So yeah. But yeah, we're gonna make sure we fix the shingle, fix the gutter, and get those trees trimmed back from the house, and then it should solve our squirrel problem. I was so happy though. I mean, really. I mean, those things are driving me crazy. Because I have no idea what they're doing up there. You know, I don't know what they're chewing on. I don't know what they're destroying. I don't know what they're doing up there. And I could be wrong, but I figured now that we're getting into the summer months, excuse me again. I figured that now we're getting into the summer months, there's less of a chance of them coming back in there because it gets fucking hot up there, people. I mean, seriously, a squirrel crawls into my attic, he's going to be dead in like 10 minutes. It gets hot. A shotgun maybe for the wasp nest? I don't know. Like, I really don't know I don't know where to start. I mean, and actually both David and the guy that we had come look at it, he actually said that they both think that it's a dead hornet's nest. I don't think it's being used. I mean, we didn't see anything flying around it, but there was definitely something that was built up there. And yeah, it's not a beehive. I mean, I've never seen a hornet's nest before, so I don't know if it's a hornet's nest, but yeah, I don't even know where to begin to have that shit removed. I don't know, do you call animal control? Do you call pest control? I don't know what you do. I don't know who you call. So, yeah. Propane with no regulator. I don't want to set the tree on fire. I want to save the tree. I don't know how this is going to work. I really don't. I don't know what they do. I guess I probably have to call pest control. Oh. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to fixing that. A flamethrower would work best, but I don't want to destroy the tree. Okay, my backyard, okay, my house is situated on a corner lot, all right? You know, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to show you guys. Well, yeah, I could show you guys. Hang on. All right. All right, look. All right, look. All right. Okay, this is my house, okay? This road right here is the main road into the subdivision, okay? There's only one small cul-de-sac that you turn onto, that you can turn off of this road. Basically, every single car that comes into the subdivision comes to this stop sign and then goes either this way or that way, all right? And then here's my house, all right? Here's my backyard, which is, you know, nice and covered by all these trees right here. There's actually 3 trees right here. This is sort of a vegetation island that was planted in the neighborhood when I first moved in. But this, you know, and that just kind of does its own thing. But these 3 trees right here is what gives my backyard privacy. This is my screened-in porch. So my backyard is actually very private. There's a privacy fence over here, so I don't see my neighbors. There's and so I mean, like, literally, like, there's a small little wedge of vision from here out to my neighborhood going this way. Other than that, you cannot see anything in my backyard. So unless you're literally standing in this line of sight right here, you can't see my backyard. And I like that. I'm happy with that. But every single car that comes through the neighborhood comes down here, shines their headlights into my backyard, and then turns one way or the other. So I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose my trees. I like my trees where they are. Oh shit! What did I just do? I don't need that. No. There we go. I'm not. I there's like 14 people here, Dolores. I mean, my home address is not hard to find. All right, you know what my name is. You know I live in Georgia. You would very easily find my home address. It's not that difficult to find. It's fine. There's 14 of us here. If it is dead, it will fall apart. Ooh, I like that, actually. I like that idea. If it is dead, it will fall apart. Awesome. Like I said, John Q, you know what my name is. You know I live in Georgia. It's not that difficult to find. He talks. Yeah, I mean, it's not that there's, believe me, there's nothing you'd want to come to my house for. I promise you. As I'm not worried about it. So anyway, oh, we're trying a new juice, aren't we? You know, you can trust us, but putting that out in public is risky. Vaping Smurf is super public. I'm serious. Like, I used to run my makeup business out of my house. I used to run Hickey Cigs out of my house. The address is out there. I am not worried about people finding my address. Like, really, I'm not. I have a security system, and I don't matter enough. I just don't matter enough for anybody to care. I have no idea where the party at Jen's house. Hey, if you want to bring the food and the booze, I have no problem hosting a party. My house is a mess. Just telling you. I have a nice porch though, really nice screened-in porch. So there's something. 57 pizzas on the way. I might pay for a couple of them. That'd be nice to have. I won't pay for all 57 though. They can suck it. May show up some night and ask for free liquid. I have said 100 times that anybody who wants to come and visit Hickey Cigs is more than welcome to, and you are free to play in the lab if you come, and pretty much everybody who does come and visit leaves with some goodies. Just saying. It happens. 14 Uber cars. That goes on your account, not mine. Get the worst postage due China shipments now. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, we don't matter enough, you know? And like I said, if you really wanted to find out where I lived, it would not be hard. I mean, like I said, Hickey Cigs used to be run out of the house. My makeup business used to be run out of the house. My graphic design as a freelancer was listed at my house. My address is out there. Yeah, I know it shouldn't be, but it is. So if I ever get rich and famous, I'm gonna move. So I don't have anything to worry about. This one time, Jen sold me juice she thought sucked so bad she tried to give it to me for free. It was oatmeal raisin. Um, Actually, the oatmeal raisin has gained some popularity. Um, not a lot of popularity, but it's got some it has some followers. It has some loyal customers that really love it. All right, let's try out this juice. Damn it! I didn't care for it initially, but yeah, it's got some fans, man. It has got a few fans out there. One of our shops is even carrying it. Always pulse your coils to clean them off, because guess what? If you let them burn, you will melt them and you will have to replace them. And if you have a pair of specialty coils like this, you're not going to want to replace them because you paid a lot of money for them. People are loving it. Like I said, I have like not a lot. Like, so it's like 2 or 3 customers that are super loyal to it. And then and then it gets bottles sold here and there. But the main thing is I have a shop that's carrying it actually, and yeah, the people are loving it. What's wrong? No, nothing's wrong with oatmeal raisin. I just didn't think it was a flavor that people would like. I actually really like oatmeal raisin cookies. I was watching a Big Bang Theory episode recently where they were trying to butter up the Nobel Prize Committee people, and they sent them cookies. But all they had available was chocolate chip and oatmeal raisin, and everybody was like, "Ugh, oatmeal raisin, ugh, oatmeal raisin," and I'm like, "What the hell is wrong with oatmeal raisin? Oatmeal raisin cookies are bomb." I could chow down on some oatmeal raisin cookies. I love them. So my non-vaping brother is over yesterday and tells me about this article he just read, mold and shit growing in Addies. Uh-huh. How can mold grow in antibacterial fluid? Just throwing that out there. Because nicotine and PG are both antimicrobials or antibacterials or something like that. Yeah. So I'm really curious. And VG is like corn syrup. I mean, it's like a preservative. So how do you get mold growing in literally things that are designed to be preservatives? I'm just throwing that out there. The greatest juice I ever vaped is based on an oatmeal cookie. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, and you know what? That I have long since learned not to try to estimate what people will and won't like, because I'm wrong usually. I have flavors that I think are terrible, and I would never vape, but they have their own popularity. And I have other flavors that I think are fucking bomb and they don't sell, they do, but they just don't sell a lot. And I'm all like, why would this not be like one of our top 10 flavors? Because it's bomb. And you know what? I've learned a long time ago to not try to estimate what the American public is going to want to taste, because we're all different. It was probably lint from his pocket. All right. So let's try this juice. Let's see if I fucked it up. Midst of all of his pain. All right. Wake up to hear the news. 'Cause then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Oh, lose, not choose. You really might know what it's like. I did. Let's try this. Let's see. Okay, so finger test came back with banana and coconut. I might have overdone it with the coconut, guys. I didn't think I did, but I might have, but we'll see how it vapes. But yeah, finger test, banana and coconut only. Don't taste any strawberry, don't taste any orange. Now, I do not care for coconut. However, I have discovered I do like coconut vapes. So, this should be quite enjoyable. It could be a banana colada. We shall see. Hopefully I will taste the orange and the strawberry when I vape it. Boop. Would help if I chose the right scene now, wouldn't it? Oopsie. Toss in more banana to even it. No, I tasted the banana and the coconut. The coconut definitely came through like as an afterthought. Like it came through with the banana, and then the coconut just hung around. Now it's just finger test though, so we're gonna see. Oh, that's smooth. That is smooth. That's not too much coconut or banana. Oh, that's smooth. You know what? It did that stupid thing. I'm gonna switch back to my Eclipse, guys. The mod is pretty and all, but that button is very, very ticky. Yeah, it did. I would actually say I did bump up the orange over the strawberry because I feel that orange is a weaker flavor than strawberry, which is surprising. I don't think that is the case for most vendors, but for TFA, the orange mandarin actually tends to be a little bit on the weaker side. But I am totally getting the orange. And the strawberry is very, very faint. So that might have been a little bit too much for me to bump up the orange over the strawberry. The strawberry is there. It's just really faint. I would imagine when you're talking with other vendors of oranges, the orange is probably going to be stronger than your strawberry. But this is an orange mandarin flavor, so it's actually it's a little bit muted, a little bit softer of an orange than like the in-your-face citrusy flavor. And but yeah, the orange is very nice in this. The coconut and it's all blending together. Oh yeah, that's tasty. I like it. That's pretty. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I like it. And the coconut is not stomping all. You want me to bump it up some? All right. It's at 65 watts now. Let's bump it up to 80 and see what happens. I hate this. I don't understand why the mods go in 0.1 watts. Drives me crazy. Nobody gives a flying fuck about 0.1 watts, okay? Go, yeah, whatever. Send it to JQV, he'll vape anything. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one home. I think I'm gonna vape on it tonight. Coconut is not stomping. I mean, it's not. No, it's not stomping out at all. I don't like it hotter though. That hotter vape is. That's a little bit too hot. 80 watts is too hot. And that's making the coconut come out and almost be a little spicy, actually. So let's take it down to, let's say, 50. The orange is coming out. Orange is pretty strong. Yeah, I'm not tasting a lot of the strawberry. I like orange though, so I mean that works for me. Orange and coconut and banana. Yeah, it's working. Now I didn't help the strawberry to turn it up. Yeah, that's pretty good. I vape as close to 22 watts as I can, depending on the coil. Yeah, see, my coil is at like 0.27. This is my happy space, my happy place. Maybe increase the strawberry to 4%. Let's see, where was it? What was that? That was Chibichulos. Yeah, we didn't change the name. Look at that. Tropical coconut. Yeah, I would say probably take the orange down to 3.75 and bump the strawberry up to 4.5, maybe. Maybe that might be too much. Like swap the two. Like I had the orange at 4.5 and the strawberry at 3.75. Probably swap them, maybe. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a winner. Ooh. Ooh, strawberry's coming out. At 50 watts, strawberry's coming out. Ooh. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. Let me take it back up to 65 and see what happens. I mean, it has had no time to steep, obviously, so. There we go. Let's take a drink of water. If you like orange, the orange banana coconut alone is probably a good combo without it. I do. I like citrusy stuff. Strawberry's coming out. It just needed a few minutes. It's coming out now. I totally taste it now. That's awesome. This is just gonna get better, I think, as it has some time to sort of Sort of meld the flavors in there. Yeah, it just needed a little bit of time. I like it. Alrighty, guys. Well, it is after 10 o'clock. I have appreciated all of your chat tonight. Thank you so much. I've had a good time. Made a good juice. Yeah, it's a summertime juice, absolutely. And come back tomorrow between 4 and 6 Eastern Time. We will be here for Trench's Funny Farm. What else? Make sure that stay up to date. Make sure you like our Facebook page. Make sure you like our YouTube page. I think that's still working. And we'll be here tomorrow from 4 to 6 right here on VU Live. And make sure you keep up with all the latest going on with our Facebook page and like I said, our YouTube page, because we are casting over there now on Tuesdays. Tuesday pre-evening, afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, 5 to 7 Eastern Time. And you guys have a great night. I will talk to you soon. Thank you. I love you all. Mwah! Remember, you can always use coupon code VULIVE to get 10% off your order at higgysigs.com. And don't forget that higgybean.com is now active. So you don't even have to register there. You can just order coffee. There's guest shopping enabled and everything over at higgybean.com. And you can get your awesome coffee over there, Nilla Nuts coffee. We just released some raspberry truffle, and it is so bomb. Something magical that happens with coffee, raspberry, and chocolate. It's like that combination just makes magic when it happens. So absolutely go check that out. And I will see you guys tomorrow.